This will be my first video of our 10-gallon reef tank we're going to be setting up. I'm new to the hobby. I've never done this before, but we're going to go ahead and try. Something I've really wanted to do for a very, very long time. And we'll get started with the equipment. This will be the first part of this, this channel, this kind of series kind of thing. This is not part of it. These are blinds. But here we go. We'll start with the equipment. Basic stuff for cleaning in the back. I have the vacuum right here, and the magnetic glass cleaner. My test kits, refractometer, one of my Wavemakers. I have three, which I'll be using for different things, and kind of as a backup, I have this one, the SunSun Wavemaker. I think there's supposed to be two here, or two in this one. I think it's two in this one, but this one as well. Kind of get the salinity in the buckets, kind of mix better. AquaClear power filter, very cheap, not very bad. I mean, I don't know yet, I haven't even opened it yet, but that's my filter. Comes with live media, I believe, in here as well, or not live media, but media here for like carbon and filter pads. This thermometer, cheap as well. This is a very kind of a budget build, obviously. And then my Lominie light back here, okay? And obviously things will probably change in the future. I'll upgrade parts, get more things, like I'm looking into getting a auto top off. Here's my refractometer, I think I said that already, and my test kits. And then my sand, I went with this Carib, not live sand, right? So just dry sand. Carib Argonite sand for 10 pounds for a 10-gallon tank, and then 10 pounds of dry rock. Now, when I get my water put in, I'm gonna be kind of gifted a live rock tank, get it started, but I'm not sure if I want to accept that. If I want to do just dry rock and use and then cycle the tank and wait for it to happen, or use live rock as like use live rock and then let the tank cycle with some added bacteria from like, I forget the company name, I always forget. But I'm not sure I want to do that to auto start the nitrogen cycle. But for now, we're just going to do setup with a tank, and this table is not going to be where it's being held. This will not hold this kind of tank when it's full. But I might move this away from the window and then put it over both tables and add reinforcement to the bottom to hold this. But for now, it's going to be set up. Water will be added separate at a different time with the live rock as well. I'll also have my 2-gallon buckets, one for making the salt water with a lid, obviously after when I'm done, and then another one for and when I'm gonna get probably either a 5-gallon or 2.5-gallon tank like this one, set up in the bottom, if it's going to be on the table, but in the bottom, not as a sump, but as like the auto top off, so I don't have to keep topping off the water whenever it evaporates. Okay, and that's about it. I'm gonna start getting it set up, opening the packages, and let's see how that goes. All right, this is the tank set up without water and rock, obviously. Rock is still set up here. I got my heater here, filter. Actually, it did come with live media and the carbon and the live media as well, and the filter pads, obviously. So that's sitting in the box. I'm not ready to use that yet, but the light set up already. Nothing's plugged in, obviously. One of the Wavemakers, I have another. It came with two, and then I have a third one here for one of them I use for the mixing of the salt. Magnet for the cleaner, for algae on the glass. What else did I have? I think that's about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in here. Obviously I will super glue or epoxy all this together and then I'll move the light out of the way. Put everything in, sand will go in afterwards. Leveling the sand higher in the back, lower in the bottom. What I might do before tomorrow is when I'll get the water, is Plasti dip the back, with black, but I'm not sure yet. But that's about it. I'll keep you updated on the next step we take. All right, this video is going to be kind of sporadic and kind of jumpy, but this is my tank after 1 week. It's been running for exactly 1 week. 7 days total. I'm gonna right now. Well, let's talk about something. So I've got the rocks put in. I ended up buying that piece and a piece back there of live rock, plus all the tank stuff that I got in the original few clips that I put in this video. I've picked up this to clean the glass, picked up a thermometer, and then this one came with the thermometer. The suction tip came off, but this got picked up. The digital thermometer goes on the side. Now it is not 100% accurate, I don't believe, because these two read differently. I just take the average of the middle, and it's about 79 degrees. It kind of goes from 79.5 down to 78.8.9, typical range in a day, but no more than that really. I never see it go past 80. I never see it go below 78.5. So that's a pretty good range, I think. It is 10 gallons, so that might be a problem if it can change that quickly later on, but I've been on top of it pretty good. So at my house and where I live, it doesn't go below 77. So that's good here. 77 is cool in my house. I don't know if you can guess where I live. But that's the tank after a week. Again, live rock. Came with a little bit of algae on it. Hair algae, plus I believe diatoms are starting to spread. Reason is I get a little bit of brown spots when the light is on all day. Here I've had it off the whole day, but I get a little bit of sunlight in this room, tiny bit. So they're kind of still there. I believe they're diatoms rather than dinos, because I turkey based it and it kind of does soft. Okay. Also, with these live rocks, I have some travelers that came over. They might all be out hiding right now because the light is on and because it's about daytime usually. But I have a couple snails that came with this, very tiny snails, and I believe a bristleworm that I caught last night hanging out on the back of this rock. And as soon as I turned the light on, it shot back under into the holes in the rock. So I at least have, I believe, a bristleworm and a couple snails. I've seen about 4 of them kind of hanging out. I've seen them in the rock here. I've seen them on the glass a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna just end up doing the first update ending here. So the problem I'm having is it's not cycling. Now what I've been told to do by my local fish store is to use these 2 rocks that provided bacteria, ghost feed, test in a week, test for nitrates, and then do it again in 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. I never tested ammonia, so that's an issue. I don't even know if the food is working properly to produce ammonia. It probably is, but I don't know. And nitrites as well. And then of course, no nitrates on that I've been testing for. 2 different tests shows 0 nitrates. So obviously the tank is not cycled yet. So I've supplemented some bacteria by Imaginarium, which is not a great brand, known for using the biological startup very well, but I'm trying that, and it worked for my brother's tank like last week, so I used it as well. Hopefully it'll work, and then I'm going to keep testing. Okay. Now it's been 2 weeks. I have no fish still, right? Obviously, because it's not cycled. No plants, no corals. But what I have been doing is using my refractometer, make sure the salinity is at 1.0 or 1.025, whatever it is, 35 parts per million. Constantly, I have a very good, I top off every day manually up to this side rim, because it's not perfectly leveled, exactly perfect. So this side, see how there's a little gap, slight little gap right here. It's very small, but I top off to this rim, and then I test salinity as well about 30 minutes after to make sure that it's all good. I have my thermometer there, and then the digital one here. They're not the same, and then the heater is not at 100% accurate either. It's about 2.5 degrees off. So this is 79.8. This is going to say 78. So I do the middle. It's about 78 degrees, 79. It fluctuates, of course, with the light when it's on and stuff. So when it turns off, it'll go down to 79.3. About not usually sometimes that low, but you know, it's less than a half a degree change throughout the day. And I'm using the light now because I do have hitchhiker snails and bristleworms that need algae to grow. Like there's one right here, it's a small one, but there's one there. And they need algae to survive, right? So I'm just gonna keep using the light, even though sometimes people say not to use a light in the beginning. But I need to keep these guys alive. They need food. But yeah, that's my biggest update. My biggest problem is just not getting cycled fast enough. It's been 2 weeks, so that's pretty average, but I know it can take much longer. So being patient. I'm not going to throw fish in here until it's ready, or corals either. So I'm just trying to control the things I can control. I've also had a problem with low pH. I don't know why. I just know that I use a pH balancer to help adjust for that, and that's been working pretty well. So those are some, newbie problems I've been having. The newbie impatience also. So fighting that as well. But, trying to keep everything slow and steady so that I don't make any huge mistakes for the pets, the fish, okay? So that's basically my update for this first video. Pretty boring, not very eventful, especially since I don't have fish yet. But I'll try to do a new video every week. I'll upload on the weekends, but it'll be based on Fridays. The weeks under this tank end on Friday. So it's technically been a week and 2 days since today's Sunday, the July 7th. But 14, 15, 16 days in, still not cycled, getting some algae. I can change the light so you can see it a little better. Getting some algae, and I was getting diatoms at first, but that kind of slowed down because I started leaving the light on for less time. But they're probably coming back. You can kind of see there a little bit, and some green algae that came along from the rocks. Now the rocks have algae here too, and the snails do pick at it like all night. And I've seen at least about 7 or 8 snails in here, and at least 3 bristle worms. That's a piece of rock that broke off here somewhere. But yeah. That's my tank. I added a rock in the back to provide a little cave kind of hideout area here. This one passes through. Small one here, I doubt anything will fit through there, but that's it for now. Pretty long video for our first update, even though nothing happened yet. But yeah, it's the newbie kind of stuff I guess you'd expect. But I'll keep you updated for next week if I can. If not, if nothing happens eventful, I'll do a 2-week update. So that's it. First episode, first update on the 10-gallon.